Hey everyone, welcome to this intro video for RIn.Rename, a Blender add-on designed to make renaming in Blender way smoother and more powerful. First, let's check out Blender's default naming tools. Blender's basic rename tool works only on a single selection. Need to rename multiple objects? You have to use the batch rename tool. Now, while that tool is great, it can search and replace text, set names, add prefixes and suffixes, strip characters, and change case. And RIn.Rename supports all of these too, by the way. It doesn't respect selection order. So if I want to rename these cubes from top to bottom and have the first one be box 001, there's no way to do it. Blender's batch rename also doesn't work on hidden selections made by shift-clicking in the outliner. Those selections just get ignored. RIn.Rename is like a fusion of Blender's basic and batch renaming tools. It uses a simple command-like interface where you can do everything with text commands. For installation, go to Preferences, Add-ons, and select Install from Disk. After installing the add-on, you'll want to set a hotkey. By default, it's F2. Press the hotkey and you'll see this small input window. Just type a name and click OK, and boom, your objects are renamed. Numbers follow the selection order, so no worries there. Now here's a key feature: Numbers auto increment. But what if you don't want the number to change? Just wrap it in angle brackets. Want to tweak the display settings? Just type /dot to open Preferences. You can also change the numbering format here. Let's change the separator to double underscores and change the number of digits to 5. Let's try it. I'll rename these objects to AA and press Enter. Since in Blender, every name must be unique, numbers are automatically added based on the format we set. Now let's introduce some basic commands. To add a prefix, type double right angle brackets, followed by your text. For a suffix, flip it around, double left angle brackets, followed by your text. To search and replace text, use this syntax. By the way, when using prefix, suffix, or search and replace, numbers won't increment automatically. See how all the ones in the name stay the same? If you want auto-incrementing numbers, that's where the dollar token comes in. Think of tokens as variables for renaming. They can represent parts of the object's name or the entire name without requiring you to type them manually. You can use the $* token to add prefixes or suffixes while automatically incrementing numbers. Use double semicolons to reference an object's collection. Now let's explore the word and number tokens. These let you extract parts of a name to either rebuild new names or remove specific sections. We can combine tilde tokens and pound tokens in various ways to create different name patterns like this. Now let's talk about the double tilde. While a single tilde expands to just the word, the double tilde also includes any trailing separators, like underscores or hyphens. For example, tilde1 expands to just red, but tilde1 expands to red underscore, with the underscore included. This is super useful when you want to remove a word along with the separator right after it. You can use negative numbers with both tilde and pound tokens. Negative numbers let you work backward, counting from the end of the name instead of the start. And instead of trailing separators, negative numbers expand to leading separators, the ones in front of the word or number. For more complex names, regular expressions lets you extract exactly what you need. To use them, just wrap your regular expressions inside curly brackets. You can also use parentheses inside your regular expressions to capture matching text. Now on to text transformations, things like uppercase, lowercase, title case, and more. All you have to do is type a / followed by the transformation command. Oh, quick interlude on the camel command. To keep the underscore group unchanged, just enable dollar expressions in the preferences. I'll cover this setting in more detail in the preferences section at the end of the video. Here's a list of all the text transformation commands, and highlighted are the shorter version of the same command. You can use the uppercase, lowercase, and title case commands with word tokens. /sc stands for split Camelcase and takes one parameter, the separator. The other text transformation commands are pretty straightforward, so let's move on to rename. To rename several objects individually, just type each new name on a single line, separated by commas. You can also add prefixes or suffixes to multiple names using a comma group, like this. Not in the mood to type all the names manually? Just enter a single comma and press enter. The text box will automatically fill with the current names of your selected objects. From there, you can edit them directly and press enter to apply the changes. Got a long list of names you want to edit all at once in your favorite spreadsheet or text editor? You're going to love this feature. You can export the names of selected objects or all objects in the scene to a CSV file or directly to the clipboard. For example, I can export these selected names to a temporary CSV file and open it with the command /es. This opens the file with the default application, Microsoft Excel in my case. From there, I can edit the names directly or copy the column into my preferred text editor and make changes there. Once I'm done, I just paste the edited names back into the column, save the file, go back to Blender, and use the command /I to import the new names. Here are some other commands that can be helpful in certain situations. You can swap the names of two selected objects with the /x command. If you want to copy the name from the last selected object, just type an equal sign. Double equal signs let you mirror names from the first half of the selection to the second half. You can cycle through collections using group names. It takes the text inside the group, separated by commas, applies it to the objects in the first collection, then moves to the next collection, and applies the names, and then repeats the process for all collections of the selected objects. It's a bit tricky to explain in words, so the next example should make it clearer. To add or insert text at a specific position, use this syntax. To remove a certain number of characters from the left, type a minus sign followed by a number. For removing characters from the right, use a double minus and a number. You can also use the /double right angle brackets D command to copy an object's name to its data name. If you use the angle brackets by themselves, it'll replace all separators in the object's name with the text in the brackets. I hope the commands are not too overwhelming. Here's a list of everything I've covered for your reference. What about bones and shape keys? No worries, they're covered too. The usual commands should work the same for bones as they do for object names. You can export the bone or shape key list to a temporary spreadsheet for external editing. For shape keys, in this example, I imported a mesh from Maya, and Blender automatically added extra text to the shape key names. Let's clean that up using RIn.Rename's search and replace command. To rename shape keys, select a single object, then type /sk followed by a colon and your command. Not all commands work with shape keys, though. Only a few are supported. You can also export shape keys to a spreadsheet for external editing. These are the spreadsheet commands for bone names and shape keys for reference. We're almost done. Before wrapping up, let me show you the options in the preferences. In the CSV tab, you can choose which application opens CSV files. For example, I can set it to launch with Ron's CSV editor. If you leave this blank, it'll use the default app set by your operating system. In the Naming tab, you can customize how the dollar token works. By default, it grabs the core of the name, ignoring special characters and numbers on either side. Want to exclude common text patterns like geo, grp, high, or low? You can do that here. Just add regular expressions separated by commas. To make them case insensitive, add a \I at the end. I'll add this expression to make the dollar token ignore _geo at the start of the name, and another to skip underscores grp, hi, or lo at the end. The reset numbering on each collection setting is easier to show in action than to explain in words. This setting affects how the numbering in your input is going to turn out. You can also toggle this option on or off in the operator window. Here are a few notes about supported Blender versions. In Blender 4.1 and earlier, the operator window doesn't update live as you type. To see the changes, you'll need to press Enter. If you prefer real-time updates, you can enable the heads-up display as an alternative. Once enabled, you can turn off the operator window's preview text option if you like. Other than the missing live update, everything else should work the same across Blender versions. I've included a PDF listing all tokens and commands with the add-on. You can open the PDF from Blender by using the command /ref. You can also download it from the link in the description. Full documentation is available on my website. So what do you think? Ready to add RIn.Rename to your workflow arsenal? Get it now on Blender Market, aka Superhive, Gumroad, or ArtStation. Check out the links in the description.